Hello and welcome to another Motors Rivals video. This time we're going to be looking at a couple of estate cars, the Ford Mondeo Estate Hybrid and the Peugeot 508 SW.
But before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Motors.co.uk YouTube channel, and remember to click on that bell so that it notifies you each and every time we upload a new video.
Anyone in the market for a large family estate car will realise that the Ford Mondeo is right up there at the top of the game. It's spacious, practical, good to drive and well packaged. And there's a new one now, which is a hybrid, which promises to be a whole lot greener.
However, what if you want a little more personality from your estate car? Well, that's where the Peugeot 508 SW might come in. And whereas the Mondeo has a traditional appearance but a cutting-edge powertrain, the Peugeot has a really sleek, sharp design but contrasted by a slightly more rudimentary underpinning.
We're going to put these two cars through a series of challenges. We're going to see what they're like on the road, in the cabin, and what they're like to look at. So first off, on the road.
Okay.
Ford Mondeo Estate Hybrid.
Yes, and that hybrid is the most important word here, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. It's certainly a bit eerie when you're pulling away. It's very quiet, but that's the nature of a hybrid, I guess.
Yeah, that'll make it really nice around town.
Yeah.
And low speed driving makes it quite relaxing, I think.
It is really nice, yeah. I mean, it is a big car. It does feel a big estate car. It gets the 2-litre 4-cylinder petrol engine matched with an electric motor. So that should be good for around 58 miles per gallon. Which
is pretty good for
quite
a large petrol.
Still not quite under the 100 grams per kilometre of CO2 though. Yeah. About 108 grams.
Which is a bit of a shame, I think, for a hybrid.
Yeah.
To go to all that effort and it's not quite get there. It's very close, but not quite.
Yeah.
But it's actually quite quiet with the engine engaged now.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
It's a little bit firm.
The ride is a little bit firm, but I think Ford always tend to do that with cars like this, make a bit more of an engaging drive.
Yeah, you're carrying a bit more weight because of the batteries.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that will affect the way it rides too.
Yeah.
With the assistance, what's the performance like?
It's not great, I'll be honest. 0 to 60 is about 9 seconds. Top speed 116 miles per hour.
It's not quick.
No, but I think it's definitely going to be a car that if you're going to be doing shortest journeys and you can really take advantage of the hybrid side of things, then it's definitely worth considering.
But it's not a plug-in, is it?
It's not a plug-in hybrid, no.
So are you able to, you can charge the engine, you can charge the batteries from the engine?
Yeah, so it's got regenerative braking,
Yep.
so when you brake it'll pump the energy back into the batteries, which helps a little bit. But I think for most people, I think the diesel will also be a better all-round
long distance drivers, definitely.
Yeah.
So should we go and see what the Peugeot is like?
Yeah,
to drive?
absolutely.
Let's go and do that. So now we are in the Peugeot 508 SW, and it feels immediately quite different to the Mondeo.
It's definitely a lot more premium in here, I'd say.
Which is something you wouldn't expect to say, would it?
No, not at all.
So obviously we've got a slightly more conventional setup in this one. We've got a 1.5 litre turbocharged diesel engine with around about 130 brake horsepower, which means that this car will get from 0 to 60 in around 10 seconds. So it's actually slower than the Mondeo.
Right.
But
a surprise.
Yeah, it is a surprise. Obviously you lose that kind of very eerie, silent around town all electric drive. But I think what you get in this car is a slightly more refined long distance experience, so to speak.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not a really horrible diesel.
It's not too clattery.
Yeah.
It's a little bit growly, but it doesn't feel too bad. Going to the road through an 8-speed auto, which is actually really smooth, very impressively auto. And you do have the option to change gear with the paddles behind the steering wheel, but for some reason they've put the paddles really close to the indicator stalks, so you don't really feel like you want to use them.
Yeah, and also when you're going round corners, the paddles don't move either.
No, it's like a Ferrari.
Yeah, it is.
That's what we've come to summarise, is that the 508 SW is basically a Ferrari.
I have actually made reference to this in the past about it being a bit like a Lamborghini as well, with some of these shortcut keys.
Yeah, nice little keys, but when it comes back to the drive, I think it's actually very refined, which is what you want from kind of a long distance estate car, really.
I think the other thing that's probably worth noting about this car as well is it's got a shorter wheelbase than the last generation 508.
Yeah.
So it's actually smaller, and it actually feels a bit more cosy in here compared to the Mondeo. This feels more engaging, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's right.
The one thing that I've really struggled to get to grips with, and I think it'll probably take a little bit of time, is that steering wheel.
Oh, the steering wheel I'm not on board with. Ever since they introduced this tiny little steering wheel, I just can't get along with it. No matter how long I drive the cars fitted with it for, it just always feels wrong. It feels like you're over the steering wheel, which is something I don't really like, no matter how you adjust it. And it also obstructs the dials.
Yeah.
Which, if you're going to do anything, the steering wheel shouldn't obstruct the dials.
Yeah.
Really. But in terms of driving style, great.
Yeah.
I'd say it's really good, really refined. And I think this engine's quoted up to about 74 mpg.
Oh, that's
which
really
is
good.
Mega. So you really shouldn't be filling it up all that often. But very, very impressive car.
So, the Mondeo, not short of space in here whatsoever. It's a big interior.
It is. Well, I've got loads of space back here. Headroom is great, leg room and knee room, and actually there's loads of room for your feet as well. That's not something we often talk about, but the space underneath the seat is really big, so you can actually properly extend out, and it's really comfortable. The seats themselves are really nice too. Yeah,
the seats up here are really nice. They're really comfortable. There's lots of storage bins and pockets for putting all sorts of various bits and pieces. I think the only thing that I would note about this particular one, the hybrid, is that boot does lose quite a bit of space because of the tech.
Yeah, because of the batteries, it's just impeding the floor. So I think that's quite a big negative for an estate car.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the reasons you buy an estate, for the space.
Yeah.
But the build quality isn't that bad. Yes, there are a couple of hard plastics on show, but it's not offensive, and it should be durable, which most estate cars tend to be workhorses anyway.
That's what the Mondeo is always aimed at, to be reliable, durable, easy to live with. It's not the most exciting place.
It's not, no, it's pretty dull.
But you've got a pretty good infotainment system. I think that's Sync 3, isn't it, up there?
That's right, yeah.
So it's the latest system, which is probably, it's better than the old one. But it all feels really well screwed together, and it's nice and light. You've got an optional panoramic sunroof in this one, which you can open, and that makes the whole cabin feel a lot better.
Absolutely.
But no, it's not a bad place to be.
Yeah, we've got a couple of USBs down here as well. We've got one in the underneath the armrest and one down here.
I've got one conventional socket at the back here, so that's a good option. Good seat back pockets, and a nice wide third seat too. Transmission tunnel isn't too high, so if you do need to have 5 people, I don't think they're going to feel too squashed in. So now we're in the Peugeot, and immediately things are different to the Mondeo.
Are we actually in a Peugeot? Because it doesn't feel like a Peugeot.
No, it's amazing. It's really high tech, really stylish, just completely different to everything else that's on sale today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a real step up for Peugeot. It's a new direction, and I really like it. I think they've really upped their game. Even the detailing, things like the shortcut keys on the just underneath the touchscreen infotainment system, it's very premium, and that's something you don't really associate with Peugeot.
No, exactly. These seats are really comfortable as well. I love the red, personally. And these front ones have got massage features in, which take the strain out of longer journeys. Yeah,
absolutely.
Space-wise, how are you finding it?
Space-wise, it does feel a little bit more enclosed than the Mondeo. You don't feel as though you've got enough or as much leg room going on your little test of putting feet under the seat. There isn't much room under there, but for most people there'll be enough. Headroom, I think, is slightly impeded because of the sloping roofline. Doesn't affect me, but I'm quite short. But yeah, legroom is absolutely fine. You also get a little ski hatch here as well, which is quite nice, and a couple of cup holders down here as well. Good. So, all in all, in the back, I don't think you'd find it uncomfortable. So we've established that the Peugeot has the far more premium interior, but how do they stack up on the outside? Well, I think it's safe to say that the Mondeo is pretty conservative.
Yeah, it's quite traditional, though they have tried to spice things up a bit with some chrome accents on the front grille. That looks quite nice, and the headlights are quite sleek. So it's not it's not a horrible design. I think it's still a great looking car.
You can go for the Vignale version as well if you want a more premium looking finish.
Absolutely. I think the large wheels do help the overall effect, and the chrome effect roof rails as well. They look quite good.
Yeah.
But yeah, just not doesn't excite you.
No, it does, and it looks on the road, it looks a big car.
Yeah, well, it is a big car.
Yeah,
so it translates its size with its design as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The Peugeot, on the other hand, is very different.
Yeah, I think it looks fantastic. It's really sleek. You've got these amazing LED lights that come down the side of the car, and I've seen a couple of these on the road at night, and coming up behind you, there's nothing else like it. I think it's just a really great design.
Yeah, and that profile as well, it's very sleek and very sporty, and
it
really shows the intentions of the car.
Yeah, it's a really good, good call from Peugeot to give an estate car a dynamic look. So I really think it helps it overall, really.
And even though it is a smaller package than the Mondeo, it still doesn't look small on the road.
It's got loads of presence. So, driving this, a lot of people are turning around to look at it because it doesn't look like a Peugeot. I think that's probably the best compliment we could give it. It doesn't look like a Peugeot.
Absolutely. And even those, I referred to the shortcut keys on the infotainment system looking like something from a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Those taillights are quite Urus as well, aren't
amazing, yeah. No, really, really great design.
I think that just leaves the verdict.
Yep, it's time to do that. The Mondeo may be a little more traditional in the way it looks, but it ticks all of the practical estate car boxes. It's really big inside, there's loads of rear seat legroom, and it's very easy to drive. However, the hybrid powertrain compromises things simply because it diminishes boot space. And after all, that's exactly what you're buying an estate car for.
The Peugeot 508 SW, on the other hand, is a very different prospect. It's stylish on the outside and beautifully built on the inside. In fact, the only criticisms that we'd really have is that sloping roofline, which will limit headroom. Overall, it's a car you'll enjoy driving, and it'll certainly turn heads.